Hey guys, moving on now. We are on page 4. I'm super zoomed in and ready to go. So now we're simplifying our square root, but then we have some more simplification to do. So I'm going to do this in kind of 2 parts. Over here, I'm going to simplify my square root of 8. So 8 is 2 and 4. Circle my 2, it's prime. 4 is 2 and 2, and I'm going to circle my prime numbers. So when I simplify, the match comes out here, and this leftover 2 goes here. Okay, so now this square root of 8 becomes that. So I'm just going to rewrite it. 2 square root of, 2 square root of 2, it's getting a little zesty, all over. Now this 2 comes down here. So square root of 8 over 2 becomes 2 square roots of 2 over 2. Now, one more thing we have to do is simplify this fraction. 2 over 2, just like we did with our exponents, is a 1. So this becomes 1 square roots of 2. If you want to put a 1 here, you can, but that's optional. Okay? And this one actually is as well. But if you want, you can put 1 square roots of 2. And that's your answer. Let's take a look at A. All right, letter E. Square root of 27 over 6. So let's start by simplifying square root of 27. I'm going to do it over here, just kind of like scrap paper. 3 times 9 is 27. And 9 is 3 times 3. So when we simplify this, our match goes in the front, and our leftover 3 goes in here. So I'm going to rewrite this. 3 square roots of 3. And then this 6 over here, I'm going to bring down. When you simplify, if you want, you can put that in your calculator like a fraction. You can do alpha x, 3 over 6, and you get 1 over 2. And then I bring down the square root of 3. That square root of 3 I don't touch. Think about the square root symbol as like a house. It's locked inside of its house. Okay, I'm going to pause the video. You try letter F and come back and check your work. Okay, so what I did was I made my factor tree, and my matches I put down at the bottom in purple, and then my leftover 2 I'm going to put here. So my simplified version is 10 square roots of 2. There was no fraction or anything, so it was just simplifying that square root. Now let's look down at exercise 7. I gotta find my exercise. There we are. Write each of the following square root expressions in simplest radical form. So we don't need to do this for a few more lessons, but it is very tricky. So that's why we are starting it now. First things first, let's simplify our square root. Okay, I'm going to do that off to the side. So 2 and 10. 10 and 10 is 2 and 5. So my square root, the 2's are a match. They go out front, 1 match, and the 5 goes on the inside. So I'm going to take this answer and replace it here. I'm going to rewrite everything else. 6 plus or minus 2 square roots of 5 over 8. So now there is one more step to do for this. We're going to simplify our fraction. Remember, you're going to ignore the square root symbol. That thing's locked away. So what goes into 2, 8, and 6? I can divide all of them by 2. So it becomes 1, 4, 3. So my answer is 3 plus or minus 1 square roots of 5 over 4. Give this a try. And pause the video, come back, and I will show you my answers. Okay, so here we are. Let me make this bigger. Here's my answer to letter B. I would say, just like the other problems, check your answer. If it doesn't match, go backwards and see where we differ. There's your answer to C. And let's move on down. So for answer D, here's what I've got. Now, E is a little bit different. The square root symbol went away. I split it into two sections. You don't have to worry about this just yet. We're going to practice this more later in the packet. Okay? Your independent assignment will be pages 5, 6, and holy cow, 7. So you're going to work on that. We'll be working on this in class. If you're not in class, then you should plan on staying after with me to get caught up.